My hair's all sticking up. I look goofy. Look at that. What a great way to start the episode. I'm a unicorn out here. I tried to, I need to, like, do something about that. I don't know. Anyway, uh, hello comrades, and welcome to another episode of Under Construction. I'm your host, Ellis, otherwise known as the Admiral. Let me drop my link in the streaming and recording for everybody, or maybe I should start putting it in announcements since the webhook bot is broken. While we wait for everyone to show up, we are going to try to take a crack at that high score, but honestly, if we manage to get another high score, that'd be 2 weeks in a row, that'd be insane. There's no way. There's no way. I don't think, I was astonished that we did one, so we'll see how far we can get. Alright, that's already kind of a rough start. Let's put you down like this. Yep. And then that is not going to go in the middle, so we can go over here. And then let's put that over here. And before we get started, I want to know if anyone has heard of these Girl Scout cookie bites. They come in a resealable bag, because we found them and I bought some against my better judgment, and they're just like hanging out in the kitchen, and I'm afraid to like really get into those bags because I know that I will destroy them. I know I will go to absolute chow town and just like eat my weight in Girl Scout cookie bites. And then I will not be allowed to fly to Colorado because I will be over the limit on size. Like, I will take up 2 seats. That's what I'm worried about. And I know that'll happen. I am terrible with restraint once food enters my house. The best place to start a diet is at the grocery store. The best place to start eating healthy, right? That's where your boundary is. All right, we need to figure out how to salvage this because this is already a disaster. Oh, I'm hoping we get a good turnout today. I need some folks to put a pep in my step so that we can get stuff done. We had a depressing court case that, of course, I cannot share. But there's only a little while left, only a couple weeks left of my grand jury service, so you won't have to hear me lament about it for too much longer. Alright, that's not good. I was really hoping that would clear at least one line, if not 2. But that big hole on the side is really getting in the way here. Nope, that won't do it either. Oh, that's not good. Okay. We're shooting for a low score today is what we're doing. We are aimed directly at the bottom of the high score list, the place we will never see. Oh my god, we're going to get 1 line. Okay, 1 line. Let's see what happens next. What happens next? Oh, shoot. I missed. Okay. So, for anyone who's tuning into this stream and doesn't know me, doesn't know what we're doing, where we are, where I came from, where did I come from, where did I go? We are warming up the stream right now. Some YouTubers have that slide that says the stream will start soon, usually if they are a big-time YouTuber. I don't have that, so I do this instead, because I don't want anyone to miss the fun part. If they're getting, I tends to give people about 10 minutes to get into the stream, get in here, join the party, join the fun. Let's put that there. And then there, and this there, okay. Okay, this is this is so bad. It's so bad. So if you were watching the VOD and you are thinking, well, I don't want to watch somebody play, or I don't want to watch somebody not play Tetris for 10 minutes, just skip ahead. There's nothing wrong. You're not going to miss anything. Jump ahead to about 30 seconds from now when I've failed miserably. If I'm still going in 30 seconds, honestly, I'll be kind of impressed, because this is really bad. This is real bad. I don't have enough, I don't have space in the middle here. Oh, God. What am I gonna do? Oh, oh, I got one. Okay. Then we got two. Okay. Please be like a giant cascade so we can keep this going. Ooh, okay. Okay, that got in there. Spin that around. And then it's going to drop down. It loses all momentum as soon as it contacts anything. That's a blessing and a curse. We'll put that there. So it looks like we've started a brand new level, right? We have a flat section that we can work from. Man, regular Tetris is so much less annoying than this. Oh no. Oh no, and I just committed. Wait, 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 wait. Yes. Okay. Not the worst thing. Damn it. I don't know why I just went for that. That was never going to work. I go in there. We got one more. Get this one over here. Okay. I need to start looking ahead, right? I need to start figuring out what I'm going to do more than one move ahead. You know, I wish there was a game that was as short as this that I could do in the... I mean, there's like Sand Tris, right? There's the Sand Tetris, and that is... That's something I could do if I ever get tired of this, if I ever feel like I'm not going to be able to beat my highest score. Some of these games that are like arcade-style games, that, man, they've got rounds that go really long. Some time ago, I was traded a couple of Steam games in exchange for a special order trading card. Um, One of them I got was Rogue Tower, which is a roguelike tower defense game. And it's interesting because it doesn't have a, like, save and quit. Like, it's a roguelike, so the you know, you lose at the end eventually. But, excuse me, but it doesn't have a save and quit. So if your gaming session is going longer than the amount of time that you thought you would have, and some of those, if you're doing well, it can go pretty darn long. Um, it doesn't like you get screwed because you either have to like leave the game open, which that's never good, or just sort of give up. And I don't even think you get credit if you bail in the middle. I mean, maybe you can like delete all of your towers and let the mooks win, but and then you get whatever you got. But I feel like you're in a game like that, your ability to sit down for hours at a time shouldn't impact your like ability to succeed. There are games where you know the time that you spend does pretty thoroughly correlate, like pretty directly correlate to um, the oh shoot, directly correlate to how successful you can be. I mean, there are games, basically grindy games are like that, right? They're just about spend time here. Um, the first one that comes to mind is War Thunder. Although, in fairness, that doesn't mean there aren't aspects of War Thunder that are, you know, that help you, that give you more for doing better, right? If you win, you get better rewards. If you do better in the matches, you get more rewards. Um, this is going poorly. Oh god. Oh come on, we have one that's flickering. Oh, that's always. Oh, 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 no, 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 no. Okay, all right. I wasn't paying attention to what the next one was. This one can go over here. We are tantalizingly close to getting to beating our high score again, but we need to actually collapse some lines, right? We need to do some lines. Oh no, that's not good. Nope, nope, it's all coming down. It's all coming down. We're done for. We're done for. I don't even have time to spin them. Okay. We got 57 lines, though. That's pretty impressive. 57 lines and no high score because they came in singles. So that's rough. Anyway, let's do what we came here for, shall we? route layer. I cannot wait to redevelop this into a map that I can actually use properly. So, route layer, huh? Just realized how low this bridge is. This is what I marked down as one of the oldest bridges, right? Like the second oldest. Second bridge after this one, which is no longer present. Yeah. Okay. I mean, the real question is, what are we going to do today? Because I don't really have an answer to that. We need to continue banging out the scenery in these areas, but I just don't know. Well, let's make a hedge maze. Why not? Let's make a hedge maze. I just don't know where to begin. I don't have, like, my brain is not ready for this today, and I'm not entirely sure why. I've been sort of in a mellow mood all day. Again, might have something to do with the court case, but you know, let's see. Let's see. Can I have like a square? Like there are some of these that are like super low poly that they're just um, they are just a rectangular prism with a shrub spline. And honestly, that's exactly what I want. Hedge spline. No. Because we need something that is narrow and very... Oh, yeah, like that. What do I need? I need a randomly generated, like, roller coaster tycoon maze. Although, you know what? That's really short. That's very short. We need one that people actually can't see over. Oh! Oh, interesting. What about this one? Okay, we needed the Shining style hedge maze. I've never made a hedge maze. It's been a really long time since I've played Roller Coaster Tycoon. I know that the hedge maze can be kind of OP. If you want to use it to break the game, it does a very good job at that. Uh, yes, I have watched plenty of Marcel Voss. Uh, and hold on. Let me do this. I mean, we're gonna have fun with this. We at least get to make something today. We get to make a hedgerow, a hedge maze. Put this here. Put this here. So there's a dead end. This is gonna be like. This is gonna be such a pain. And also, this is bad for people who just choose to go and like follow the right edge. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Let's get this along the edge too because we need that. The hedges are growing through the fence a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, for the people who follow the left, I'll give them an exit immediately. And let's get this edge done as well. This is going to be a lot of hedge maze. We don't want... Again, I don't know the philosophy on building hedge mazes. I don't know what's most effective, what's most confusing, right? I'm sure there's a whole school of thought. Somebody out there has a degree in hedge mazing, right? I bet it's amazing. The National Research Institute for Hedge Mazes. We also need to like figure out what the right path is going to be, because when at some point we're going to find the dead end, right? And this is probably one of them. So let's go this way. Although maybe we don't make just one path through. Maybe we Maybe we make it so that there are, areas that sort of link up to one another, just for the extra confusion. There. Um, and then let's put a block across there, and then leave one gap in it to there, and then we've got to fill in the middle part. Let's see. Yeah, this way to here, this like this. I don't know why I'm doing this. This is such a non sequitur kind of build. Who has a Trainz route with a hedge maze in it? This guy. This is stupid. Okay. So, okay, we've got to turn this path off somehow, right? We have to send this in a different direction because the main path is getting too deep into it. Part of me wants to turn it this way, and then maybe run it back the other way. But this is like the main path, but that doesn't mean it should be the right one, right? I'm already starting to think that the right path is going to be the one that goes over here. But I'm also thinking, like I said, that maybe we have more than one way through overall, or at least we have more than one way, like, around certain sections. Okay, let's bring this back out here then. Come on. How about right there? What do we do? We go that way, and then we go back this way. And then I think maybe we make a gap in it here. This is such a rabbit hole that you could go down, right? Such a rabbit hole you could go down. I bet people have spent countless hours making the mazes in Roller Coaster Tycoon. Because, I mean, you could just sit there and just see, like it doesn't matter, right? You can't charge more in the game. Like, a maze is always the same size, right? Or it's always the same. Do bigger mazes let you charge more? It's a good question. I feel like I know someone who would know. Well, maybe I don't know them, but I know of them. And I'm definitely recognizing that one of these tricks is to make sure your dead ends are around a corner from an intersection. Okay. Let's see. This could lead back out into like an area. Into an area, yeah. I have an idea. I have an idea that's kind of goofy for this. I think what I'll do is also is the chat. Oh, there's nobody here. Let's do this. Let's break a hole in this, and then oh shoot. And then what we'll do is we'll put some benches here facing the road, so that if you do end up over here, at least you get that. Okay. Let's see. And like that. And then that lets you out into this area in the front. Hello, Mew. Let me scoot the chat over so I can see it a little better. I didn't know what to start on today, Mew, so I started doing the hedge maze. And I don't know why. I don't know why I decided this was something we should have. but it's been a lot of fun, and it weirdly makes me want to play Roller Coaster Tycoon. I suppose that isn't weird, but it's a strange lead in, right? Okay, so this way. Um, I don't know. This is just one of those things. I'm really liking Bellington because Bellington is letting me. It's letting me check the boxes. It's something that I didn't do a ton of in Olive or in the previous towns necessarily. Um, Maybe Pan Am is an exception, but a lot of it I didn't really sit down and think about. Okay, a town needs this, this, and this. Uh, like Olive, I don't think has a hospital or any sort of medical center. It might not even. It does have a school, right? Um, but it's not fully detailed. Also, this town has a lot more in the way of sort of commercial enterprise than Olive does. Olive has a very small business district. It is what some older folks might call a bedroom town. Hi, TJ. Bye, TJ. Um, okay, there we go. Um, I did actually run into an older woman uh, who was selling me something on Craigslist who referred to her town, I believe of Cumberland, Rhode Island, as a bedroom town, as in there's nothing going on there, because I went up to pick up the thing, and she was in Providence at the time, which is ironic because that is where I live. Um, I suppose that's more coincidence than irony, but alas. Uh, let's go that way. I'm remembering all of my experience with maze games as a kid. Let's go this way. Yeah, I do want to have more than one. Like, I want to have at least one circuit so that people can get lost and wander in circles forever. Let's see. Um, hmm. Yeah, Bellington is basically my City Skylines playthrough. This is better than City Skylines 2, guys. It's doing a good job. Okay. Um, I mean, it's sort of like it reminds me of Franklin, right? It reminds me of Do Not Eat's Franklin series of quote unquote, using city skylines as a teaching tool almost, and not as a game. Um, and I sort of wish. Well, I mean, I wish a lot of things for those games, but they are games at the end of the day. They're not simulators. They don't set out to make the. I will put a regular dead end here. Uh, they don't set out to make a perfectly realistic simulation of what it is like to run a city or town or what have you. They set out to make something that is compelling to play without all those frills, without all those difficulties. Um,
Okay.
I'm glad it showed up today.
Crisis averted.
Gloria was waiting on a dress for an upcoming party, and we were not sure if it was going to be here in time because the party is on Saturday. But it made it! Okay. Look what I'm doing.
What are you doing?
I had this random patch and I decided to put a hedge maze in it.
I love that idea.
Yeah, you like a hedge maze?
I love a good hedge maze.
Oh, we should go to a hedge maze then. I've never done a hedge or a hedge maze
God.
or a corn maze with you.
I love.
Is that how you will accept corn? Okay, Gloria doesn't like corn, but Gloria likes a corn maze. Unfortunately, I'm just here to say hello and goodbye quickly because I got to be awake in less than 6 hours. Oh my god. Yeah, I forgot you're still in a wacky time zone. It's part of the reason that I haven't pressed forward on the proofreading of the cards because know that you will be very good for it, and you are not available for, like large stretches of when I am awake. But I I want to get them out by the beginning of June, because then I can hope to have two batches of cards this year, and we'll just roll right into the next one. Um, okay, I'm not sure what to do. I have a couple of entrances into this like main area, and also I haven't been pushing on because I've been totally exhausted from court. But that's the more serious reason. I think I'm just going to push this all the way up to here, and I'm going to. This is a little bit narrow for two pathways. Let's scoot this over then to here. Scoot this over to here. That's the most. We're really building the shining maze in Trainz. Yes, yes. I I that's immediately what I thought of, and it's crazy to me that The Shining, the film, did not leave all that much of an impression on me. If you go to the community channel, which I think is linked in the description, go find the old Real List podcast, which is something I did with Gloria last year, the year before, which was our movie review podcast. We did The Shining. And I sort of panned it. Like, I wasn't a huge fan. Like, I recognized that it was a really, like, cool and influential movie. But I didn't love it.
What?
The Shining, yeah. Um,
It wasn't your cup of tea. It wasn't.
it
It's
wasn't.
also not Sunset's cup of tea either. No, it's not Gianna. Sorry.
Anyways, good night. Worst case scenario, me will be back May 19th. Yeah, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get those cards done before then, I would imagine. That's a shipping tactic. I don't actually know if it is. I made that up. Okay, so this entrance is getting scarily close to the shrine here, which is the goal. Um, I think I'm not sure what I have to do to this. We should probably mark out. Oh shoot, I'm over the line here.
This is such a pretty color.
You're pretty.
Look at this.
Please don't make me snap my neck again.
Oh, look,
You'll come into my line of sight. It is a pretty. Ooh, excuse me, a pretty color. What's Lafayette chewing on?
Don't forget.
I just heard a crunch. Okay. What if I just do this?
What are you doing? What are you French on?
Yeah, so I don't like this because... yeah, okay, that's gonna be too easy. Let's close this off here. And then instead of having it blocked out on that side, let's block it out on this side, so it's a little, oh shoot, a little tougher to see. For the non-existent people that are going to be going through this maze. Should not be caring so much. Okay, this needs to pull out to here. And then... this probably ought to go here. And then this here. We should block that off. Yeah, like that. Block that off like that. And there will be a murderer that is released into the maze on Halloween specifically. I'm saying I can't remember. I wish I had a map of the Shining Maze just to get a feel for how big it was, because I don't remember it. I remember it being fairly substantial, and there's the sequence in it is pretty long, but it's one of those things. Okay, so Oh no, here's what I'll do, right? I will bring this down to here, and then I will bring this to here. And wait, no, let's do this and then this. It's a little sloppy, but it gets the point across. The point is, it's not this way, try something else. And we do have one continuous loop that you can make. Right? You can go in here and around and around and around, and this way. The amount of spline points is a little absurd, but you can loop back to here. Oh, or loop back to... Okay, so there are two loops you can make, actually. Let's look at this in Surveyor 2. It'll look a little cleaner. Yeah, there we go. Okay, right, I want some park benches. I want some park benches. Bench and tools. Yeah, there we go. Oh, and these are bigger than I thought. Uh-oh. I should check the height of a person. Maybe this is only for kids. Man. No, that's a truck. Man riding a bicycle, that doesn't help. What is it? N-man? Yes, N-man. N-machinist. Okay, I mean... they're pretty much tall enough, but yeah, it's probably just for kids. I could always select all of the hedges and then control drag up and make them twice as tall. I'm not going to do that. It's not worth the effort. Okay, so let's also throw in a couple of cars. Let's just put them down manually, why not? Metallic mint green convertible. Not a convertible, it doesn't look like, I think it's just two-tone. Yeah, I think it's just two-tone. And then this. We could have been doing this the whole time, putting down these cars manually, but you know. Let's tent. I want like a big tent. I want a tent for yes, sadly you did miss the Tetris that is not. What is this? Terminal Station 8-track. Whoa. This is kind of cool. Now, terminal stations are really annoying operationally, but I want to take a minute here because this is going to be a weird episode because I'm not really in the headspace to be plugging and chugging away. East is wanting to talk to me about a Frozen Empire, and I haven't talked about Frozen Empire on Under Construction yet because I was holding back on spoilers because I saw it in like the first week of release, and oh my god, I love that movie so much. I really, really need to see it again. I'm waiting for it to come out like on Blu-ray so I can pick it up and get the special features and see like the extended edition, everything like that. Okay, Pat says I should use it for Gilson City, and here's what I want to do. Instead of doing my typical spiel right now, we'll have a bit of a day off, and I'll go poke at the map some. So let's... We also haven't done really any industry config or anything like that. I know that's been sort of deliberate because of the way the industry config is right now. But let's jump to screen. Tolbrin map. I think this is the most recent one. I know it's marked whenever it's marked, but I think it's the most recent one. It's got the 2-foot gauge on it. Oh wait, that's a PNG. Tolbrin superimposed PDN. Okay, right. This one is the one without a date because it's the most recent one. There was a period of time where I was really going pretty hard on getting the map itself done, and I was moving it back and forth between different computers, and so having that dating set up was important. But okay, so I can middle click drag. Um, Arthur's Gamble. We named that a while ago. Okay, so we've got, yeah. Okay, so we have three major stations. Four really. There are four major stations in Gilson City. One is Gilson City, which is the heart of basically all the transit. This is the um, I don't know what the equivalent would be, but this is the Chicago Loop. Actually, is what this is, and we might even do that. We might style this like the Chicago Loop, and I do want to have some elevated portions of this railroad. Um, of the what is this? This is the come on, help me out here. This is the New Shoreham Tramway. They run all the transit in Gilson City. Well, they run a lot of the heavy rail transit in Gilson City. There still might be a Gilson Transit Authority that runs the trolleys and the subways and stuff like that. But a lot of this is going to be heavy rail stuff, and they also handle a lot of the freight. They have some of this, like they had a line as far as Tombstone, which this is an isolated part of the system now. You have to go over Zion and Skyline trackage to get to it, but that's neither here nor there. Same with this part of the VMR, but that's going to be a different kind of problem. We have four major terminals. We've again Gilson City, which might not be one station; it might be more like the Loop in Chicago. We have Gilson Union, which is I think the oldest. That's a great question, Trist. I will cover that in a second. Which is probably the oldest Union station, maybe because of where it is, but honestly, I'm not entirely sure about that. Actually, yeah, it probably is the oldest Union station. But it's a through station, so we can't use it there. We have Grand Junction, which is just a mess. Like, Grand Junction is the back bay of stations. It is, it is not a very large or grand station, but it handles a buttload of trains, and that is the technical term. And then we have Gilson Terminal, which Gilson Terminal might be the right place to put an 8-track terminal like this. Even 8 tracks might be too much, because the Zion and Skyline is going to be the only one terminating trains at Gilson Terminal. It also has this through section, which is sort of like 30th Street, Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia. And you'll notice that, so this is a cross, so that's not anything. It's probably also sort of like 30th Street. But there's the boat train, right? That's something that we had set up previously. The boat train runs, it's an early morning train that uses dual mode locomotives. It runs from Jefferson down through Olive on the Gilson Eastern, through Mason's Landing, Pan Am, Bellington, through the tunnel. And then it would actually turn off onto this, which is going to be some kind of cutoff, I would imagine, through Gilson Union, probably without stopping. Gilson Union, Gilson City, Gilson Terminal, and then onto Meridian. Which means that this here, like, if I style it after the Chicago Loop, it's going to be a broad Chicago Loop, because you need to take a heavy rail train down this way. Like a big one. The boat train is not small. In fact, we can go and look at it in the staging yard. The boat train, I think, is one of the first ones to go out. It's the train with the FL9s on it. There it is. This is the boat train. It is a long train, and it is there to make the connection with ocean liners. That's pretty much it. That's all it does. And it doesn't stop in Olive, if I remember right. It doesn't stop anyway. Or I might have it stop in Bellington, but maybe not. And to your point, Trist, we've been working on this for 5 years. Let me show you the overlay. That's it. This right here. Now you'll notice that this is all gray still. This was a snip that I took a while ago, and it's really kind of a pain to get it scaled right because of the way that Trainz uh, zooms out. Um, so we have scenery up to like here, and then we have this area to do. I mean, that's what happens when you work on something for 3 hours a week. It This is not my ultimately. I'm not even sure if my goal is to finish this route, and that's not me saying that at some point I'm going to give up. That is me admitting that my goal is not to finish this route. That's not what's at the forefront of my mind. And that's what I don't, and that it ties into most of my recommendations about route building when you have a mega project like this. Um, if your sole, what's the word? If the only thing on your mind is wrapping it up, is finishing, is reaching the end, you're never going to finish it. You are going to run out of steam. You're going to run out of discipline, frankly, long before it gets anywhere close to being done. I've always kind of looked at massive Trainz projects like this like a model railroads where you're perpetually working on them knowing they will never be completed. And that's what Triss just wrote, and that's generally what I would agree with. But beyond that, you want to take things one piece at a time. You want to bite off something that you can chew, something that you can look forward to the end of, and something that you can sort of keep in your brain the whole time. Yeah, exactly. I don't think this is ever going to be completed. I'm not under that kind of delusion, right? This is a mega project among mega projects. The main line is over 200 miles long, and frankly, even if I were to get it done, I don't think I could ever get the AI to work in the way that I wanted it to, and that's half the reason I started doing this in the first place, to have this massive route be fully automated. Now, if that's all I cared about, I would have just done it on an existing route, right? I would have grabbed industrial wasteland from Trainz 2006, and I would have figured out how to run it most efficiently and set up the AI so I could do that. That's probably the least inspired thing I could do, but it's something that I've attempted in the past. I'm not sure if I streamed that, but I have attempted it in the past. Bring back the Geiger Mountains? Oh, Trist. Have you been out of the loop? Hold on. That's what this orange is. I am bringing back the Geiger Mountains, even though when I started this, I had said, only standard gauge. I don't need to complicate things. Oh well. Yeah, so someday I will bring back the Geiger Mountains. That's my goal. Or that is a goal. And just for context, right, that is coming out of here in Mason Valley. Um, Now, if it's been a while, God knows what you've seen and what you've missed. Um, but we have this dual gauge area here. This dual gauge serves the mill down here. It's what brings in the coal for the mill. And I think, oh yeah, it brings in the coal here, and then it, I don't think does anything here. It's just a stub so that they can switch the coal out more easily. Um, I like I like Mason Valley a lot. Anyway, but the dual gauge runs across the bridge, and bam, you have a whole 3-foot gauge yard. Yeah, I remember the pain I had aligning all that dual gauge. Yeah, no, dual gauge in Trainz is a pain. I mean, once upon a time there were dual gauge tracks. I don't know if any have been updated to do procedural junctions and things like that. I wouldn't blame anyone if they didn't want to bother, right? Because that's a humongous pain in the neck. And, this will be the Geiger Mountains. If you remember a long, long time ago, right? I think it was like the northernmost point or the southernmost point. I can't remember what way the map was oriented. Was Mason Valley, and it was where you would get the logs. That's where the forestry was. Now, we don't have that. We don't have a forestry here, but we do have this log transfer machine, which will let you you know, offload logs from standard gauge cars onto narrow gauge cars, and then they will go up that way. I think that's how I set it up. Yeah, because there isn't a forestry. I mean, there probably will be, considering the dead ends and the other things that I've added to the Geiger Mountains map. But that is a way to get logs out. Again, I'm not sure how I'm going to use it. The thing is, it's set up to use flat cars and not the 50-foot clinch cars that we use up on the olive branch. So maybe I'm going to have another forestry somewhere else that's going to be providing this stuff. It would not be out of the question to throw in, let's go back to the map. It would not be out of the question to throw in a logging camp. Probably not in here, because that's just not, like, this is the only area that you can log in, really. It wouldn't have been wrong of me to throw one in here, up past Lionhead. It might have made sense. Or somewhere else along the VMR. But really, there's probably going to be one up here past Fail. And that might be it. I mean, Bursington is where the mill is, so it would be weird to bring the logs all the way down and then back up to here. Of course, you could always float them down here, which would kind of make sense. Doing a log run from here to the river would be really kind of goofy. It'd be really goofy, and it might, you might want to do that, even. But there's probably, I mean, there was a coal mine in Blood Gulch. It's just sort of a question of, okay, do I want to be bringing logs down here and then up to Bursington? Maybe when the weather is not as good, or maybe there's like a giant waterfall here. I mean, why wouldn't the tracks just do this, right? I would imagine that this area is much higher than this area, and you could toss logs into the river and let them soar over the Bursington Falls and crash onto the rocks below, and then you'd get some good splinters to use. But maybe you want to bring them down more carefully. Geiger City and Wakefield are probably the largest two towns, so you're going to have passenger service between them that goes a long way around. And then Macon also is it's not a big town, but it's a major point on the route here. Yeah, so getting some log camps up here is probably something that we're going to do in the not so distant future. Well, I say that in the not so distant future, probably 5 years from now. Because once we get this done, I'm probably going to go this way, and I'm going to link that up with this. So you're going to have some connection in the wilderness up there. Anyway, we do need to actually make progress today. That isn't just a hedge maze. I love me the hedge maze, but we've got to do other things. We should probably, as I keep saying, advance the storm front of scenery, which means doing this all the way down. And then we also have a big graveyard that we need to fill in. Otherwise, it's kind of the same old, same old. I don't feel like there's a lot that we need to really expend creativity on today. Maybe that's a good thing. Ultimately, maybe it is better that I don't have to really put my brain into it. But if it's going to be a low turnout today, if it's not going to be a very exciting episode, maybe I'll jump into my other save and start, cataloging more of those freight cars that we found and didn't put in the list yet. At some point, I do have to figure the industries out, but I feel like that's a long way in the future. And once we do that and get everything into the, once we do that and get everything into the spreadsheet, we'll know what we need to set up in the way of consists to bring in stuff from out of the map to sort of make this section of map whole. And then either, we continue like a good boy, we sort of just soldier on as we should, right? Or we just throw in the towel and say, yeah, the map is complete enough. All the industry systems work. Everything else is brought in by outside whatever. But I can't do that for multiple reasons. For multiple reasons, actually. Yeah, the first reason being I don't want to do that. Congratulations, Bryson. Um, the first reason being I don't want to do that. The second reason being we can't actually bring in loaded cars. And that's a problem, right? We can't bring in loaded cars. And so the thing that I literally just said about making the map whole, not really possible. We can use insta-load, but I'm not sure what that will load. We can use various load commands, but that means setting up a very intricate staging system where we load things and then unload them and load them and unload them. So many moons ago, I was developing what would effectively be a functional staging yard, right? I was developing something that would work to put these trains together. All right, grab this. Let's do scrapbook data. Oh shoot, I'm deleting the trees, or deleting the grass. Filters, please. Ground height, none. Texture, overwrite. Meshes, overwrite. Actually, that's fine. Splines, none. Effect layers, none. Been using to make my first completely custom route in quite a while. Independence Roundabout. Cool. Okay, so let's get this. I thought you were working on some other routes. But welcome to the Trainz 2022 party. Best version of Trainz yet, some could argue. I mean, I know I opine for the older versions of Trainz quite often. I mean, I stuck on 06 for as long as I had because I was a total stick in the mud and I didn't want to upgrade. But with these features, like with Surveyor 2 and everything like that, this is honestly fantastic. Surveyor 2 is one of the strongest material improvements to the game in a very, very long time. In my opinion, probably since like Interlocking Towers. And even then, Interlocking Towers are a little iffy sometimes. I've had my own problems with them in this map. Most of you probably know what I'm talking about. And at that point, sometimes you just have to suffer with the goofiness because they're not foolproof. And of course, I am a fool. I don't use 2.0 though. It seems like such a drastic change when I've been using this normal Surveyor for a decade now. Well, I was in your boat, and then I learned a couple of tools. And if you notice, I'm still plugging away in Surveyor Classic for pretty much everything I do. But there are a few things, particularly manipulating splines, where I think it's worth it to learn. I think it's worth it to learn how to take advantage of it. Because really, if you don't, you're leaving stuff on the table. Hi, Bender. I think I'm doing okay today. I had a traumatic experience in court that I'm legally not allowed to discuss, so I'm a little bit low energy. However, doing okay. Also, Gloria's grandmother's dog passed away today, which doesn't help. It's kind of a downer. I don't know how I'm going to break this to Lafayette because I'm pretty sure he considered her his best friend. For the record, she really wanted nothing to do with him, but he considered her his best friend. That's Lafayette. But yeah, I feel bad for Gloria's grandmother. She lived alone with the dog, and now she lives alone. Anyway, I'm sorry to suddenly be a downer. My teacher got kicked out of jury duty for wearing the most hideous clothing. Oh, God. Oh, see, on a petite jury, or petit jury, is how they keep pronouncing it, but I'm convinced that's not how you pronounce it. A trial jury, for the lack of, for something with no argument. On a trial jury, you do have to dress up nice because you're in a courtroom. On a grand jury, you can wear whatever you want. Not only can you wear whatever you want. Hello, Patrick. Uh, Hi, Patrick. Um, he's returned from the fueling. On a grand jury, not only can you wear whatever you want, you can bring in food and stuff. Like, we're in there for several hours a day. We're there 4 days a week. We are, like, we're the little worker bees of the court. We're the the things you never really hear about. Because grand juries, frankly, are not exciting. We don't even determine innocent or guilty. You could, I suppose, wear the fish hat if you wanted to a grand jury. I mean, I suppose it depends if your attorney general that you're working with is chill or not. Ours is super chill. Um, I feel like she has to be, because if not, she would have jumped off the building by now from working with the special victims cases uh, for as long as she has been. It's not. It is. The word I keep using is heartbreaking. Um, Frankly, I have to disagree with Patrick though. With Pat, he says always wear a hat. I know he's hat man. I cannot disagree more. Do not ever wear a hat. I say to myself. I don't judge anybody else for wearing hats. Um, Although I feel like I should get that. My lawyer has advised me not to further elaborate on my relationships with women or fish hat. That's so gold. Also the shirt. Somebody should find the shirt and wear that to a horseman trip. The shirt that's, women fear me, fish want me because I the fish. Hi, Mason. How are things in the chaotic world of Lansing today? Um, the hat and the shirt in court. The hat and the shirt. No, where you? Yeah, no, yeah, yes. Um, can you wear that as the courtee? What the courtee? What does that mean? What is the courtee? Made by cows. Oh my god, a cow driving a tractor. Um, Lansing is pain. It's okay. Um, I was, I was, the reason everyone has to be in court. Are you saying the defendant, the person who allegedly committed the crime? Uh, because I feel like if you wear the the fish shirt in particular to court, you're just guilty automatically. Like I'm pretty sure it says in the Constitution, innocent until proven guilty unless you're wearing the shirt, and everyone knows what that means. There's no room for interpretation in that amendment. Okay, so let's just get some shrubberies along the backside here. Um, the courtee. I'm gonna use that and watch the AG look at me like I've grown an extra head. But yeah, shoot. I wanted to respond to Mason saying Lansing is pain with another dog anecdote. This one is not depressing, um, because we were at my dad's yesterday. It was his birthday on Tuesday. His birthday was on Tuesday. We celebrated yesterday, um, and there was a thunderstorm, and we had three dogs. He has his little dog. Um, I was there with Ian, aka Bean Man, in the Discord. He has a dog, and there was a hell of a thunderstorm, and we had Lafayette, of course. Um, Ian's dog was shaking like a leaf on a tree. Um, Dad's dog is already like a petrified little bean. I don't have a picture of Banny, but he's very small. Um, and Lafayette just did not seem to care. He did not care. The thunderclaps were going off, and like sometimes he would sort of acknowledge them and like look around, and it's either because he's deaf or because he is a Providence dog and he doesn't flinch at these sorts of things. So he's used to playing fireworks or gunshots. Trailer. Let's see. We're like we're the Frauhaus trailers, right? What is this one? Steph. Yeah. Steph. Okay. Let's just park these up over here. This one is the parked kind. So let's use that. This one I think is not parked. This one is hovering. That's okay. So is the Shoreham going to be third rail based off of the FL9s and the boat train? A lot of it is going to be third rail, yeah. In my head, it's not too far off from like the Long Island Railroad in terms of vibes, right? And beyond that, third rail is just a lot of the stuff that I picked. That doesn't mean that there won't be overhead. In fact, I've been thinking about ways to use overhead in in different areas. I just haven't solidified it. Some places will probably have both. Oh shoot! I wanted to grab the only cars are like at this end of the map. We didn't start scenicking the other end that hard yet. Park 1950s cars. Let's just put some over here. Good evening, Comrade Mopac. You know, I think if we do enough stuff in chat, the algorithm will like the stream more and recommend it to more people. Okay, so let's go back to the map really quick so we can talk about this. Also, am I slouching? I think I'm slouching. Whatever, today's depressing. So let's talk about this. Now, there are a couple of things. Now, obviously, everything we built is just standard, no electric at all. I've thought about doing, because Raven Bridge is going to be the only bottleneck in, like, on the Gilson Eastern Main Line. It's 4 tracks except for the Raven Bridge tunnel, which is a very long tunnel. Was there a spam bot? I don't see a spam bot post. It might have been taken care of by YouTube automatically. But I was tempted to do something with the Gilson Eastern. Let me just look at assets and timetables really quick. Electric. Okay, yeah, the Gilson Eastern is supposed to have some DD1s, but DD1s were not electric overhead, if I remember right. Hold on. PRR DD1. They're third rail, aren't they? I'm not seeing a pantograph. Semi-permanently coupled. Electrified zone number. Easy and simplified train dispatching. Did I skip something up here? Box cab electric locomotives. They are preserved. Oh, contact shoe. Okay, yeah, there we go. So, third rail. Oh, it's right here. DD1 operated from a third rail. So, that would make... So after you finish, you're going to make track profiles. Oh, God. That would be kind of a fun experiment, though. I always loved the track profile diagrams in MSTS. But anyway. So yeah, a lot of this is going to be... I think this is going to be electric overhead from south of Grand Junction to Loretta, and probably once upon a time to Tombstone, which means that we might have the Iron Ore Railroad having electric overhead, which would be kind of fun. Just GG1 or Little Joe it, but there are mainline electrics. You won't need that in here. Oh God, eventually. Yeah, I mean, it would be a fun experiment. It would honestly be really fun. So, and I know how I would do it already, but let's not worry about that right now. But most of this is going to be third rail, which is going to be interesting because probably we're going to need... Doing third rail is way more annoying than doing electric overhead in trains. It is, because I'm not sure if there's a T-side third rail item, because that wouldn't really make any sense, because you need to have... um, because you need to have that. And honestly, third, no, even third. Oh, okay, okay. We have this like JBS bridge track with the third rail, which I bet this doesn't have. No, no, it does not. That's kind of annoying. So we'll have to find a third rail spline if we don't have one already, which I've never seen one before. Oh, okay, we have a BDW one. Even okay, and it's off center too, so that kind of helps. Um, will there be New York Central Motors? There might, there might. But yeah, so I think the north side is going to be third rail, which is going to be a tremendous pain in the neck. But whatever, we're going to have to live with that. Um, so third rail probably from here, or maybe even just from like down here, and the stuff up here will be dual mode or diesel powered. Um, and then the stuff down here will be electric overhead, maybe because maybe because the Zion and Skyline is electric overhead out to here. Now, if we look at assets and timetables, I didn't put down any electric motive power for the Zion and Skyline, but to be frank, if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be them. It strikes me as oh shoot, what the hell? No. Uh, it strikes me as something that they and they alone might do. Um, and you might have electric traction up till Tombstone, which makes sense if you have the electric railroad in Tombstone. Um, do like the Milwaukee and slap an electric on the front of a steam or diesel train? Might do. Might do. And here's the thing. They would have, I mean, you probably have electric motive power solely at least until Tombstone. And then you swap everything over because you need to go up the hill anyway because this is kind of a climb if I remember right. Yeah, it goes over the railroad. It goes over the 2-foot gauged Emden. This brown is 2 foot. Um, this is the something something Emden something. I didn't even write it down. it's in a post in the Discord somewhere. Uh, anyway, wouldn't you want electrical power in the mountains because of the tunnels? We're getting to that. But they didn't feel like electrifying past Tombstone, so they didn't bother. So it's regular motive power all through here, down to Zion, through Kingston, Tidebow, up the big valley here, which this is all a very tight valley. It's got the highway, it's got the 2 railroads going over top of one another. And then you get to Skyline. And you have this tunnel under, I believe I nicknamed it Alduin Pass. And this tunnel specifically has electrification. It's the biggest tunnel in the system. The rest of them, out here it doesn't matter. I'm not going to model that. I'm not going to model anything outside of the dotted line anyway. I've got enough to do. But once you get what I guess would be Railroad North, right, of Skyline, there's a transfer point. You stick an electric locomotive on the front end of the train. It pulls it through to another transfer point, or Macon. They're either in these towns or right outside. Electric locomotive comes off, and it continues from there. So this is going to be run sort of like the Hoosick Tunnel was in real life, and some other tunnels that used electric motive power to just drag steam or diesel powered trains through. Now diesel power doesn't matter, but the thing with the Zion and Skyline is they are steam all day, every day. They do the iron ore. They also have the coal mines. This is my Moffat Tunnel. Yeah. Most of the coal is going to be coming out of the Zion and Skyline. Although the biggest, some run-through stuff to Columbia. This is the largest coal mine on the map, I would imagine. This is also a fairly large coal mine. Or this. I think it's actually this is the other large coal mine, because the deposits are all under here. which is why Blood Gulch touches the end of them, this touches the edge of them, and then Columbia and this are right in the middle of that. But a lot of the coal gets brought down to Zion. Now Zion is this is a port, right? This is a major port. Tidebow doesn't have the facilities, but this does to throw like iron ore and coal onto boats. Now they don't need to throw iron ore onto boats because they've got steel mills in Zion, but if they needed to, that's where they would do it. The So you get some big coal docks there, and yeah, most of the coal is being brought down. Iron ore is up here. Most of the coal is being brought down from this area, run through trains from Columbia, from here, maybe not as much, but yeah, still. And also probably we'll be throwing in some coal branches on the Zion and Skyline because they need a place to get the coal. Or maybe they will come from off map. There's going to be some coal mines. We don't need to fill this whole world with coal mines. The point is, they are modeled in no small part after the Norfolk and Western. They are they're cargo moving people. They're a coal hauling railroad, first and foremost. They aren't really worried about diesels right now because they have enough steam engines to sort of take care of their needs, right? And beyond that, I might want to add another yard track in here. I think I'll do that. Beyond that, they don't. They've heavily invested into electric traction, so they aren't worried about diesel locomotives beating out their steam engines because their steam engines are both very good, very cheap to run, and also not the end-all be-all of what they do. The stuff where diesels would shine in being able to take that, take those jobs over, right? Take those tasks over. They already have electric locomotives doing that. And so they really have no desire or drive to push steam out and transition. Sounded like the crab orchard in Egyptian. We have coal, so why don't we use it? Yeah, and that's a pretty common story with coal hauling railroads. When your fuel is cheap, and I think we talked about this an episode or two ago, when your fuel is cheap, it can start to outweigh the other benefits of dieselization. There are a lot of benefits to dieselization, and most of them hit you where it counts. That would be in the pocketbook. But if you can make up for that by making your fuel completely free, then then you might be able to get away with it. Okay, let's put this here. Okay, we got another track in. That's fine. This yard is not as big as I would have hoped. I feel like I should have made it longer, but honestly, we couldn't. There's no way to make it longer, and that's why we have separate yards for the coal and separate yards for the stock cars. So this is all just going to be like manifest stuff. We need a way to get in here, which would probably just be off the street, right? Well, no, there could be a way in around the back here. That would also make sense. I'm surprised that we got that hedge maze done. I was worried that was going to be the last thing that we did. Do the companies have any reskinned rolling stock? Actually, yes, we do have some of that. It was made for me quite some time ago, but I have some 2-bay hoppers, and I think some other stuff. I know there are some engines that have been reskinned as well, but the 2-bay hoppers are the ones that stick out to me. Those are very nice. So what's the 2-foot? What's its story? That's a good question because I have that all written down in the Discord somewhere, and I don't remember it off the top of my head. But it's the most bankrupt railroad on the map by far. It is the general story of the 2-foot is that it was on that on the island there. There's a little island which is more or less shaped like Mountain Desert Island, but that wasn't super intentional. Um, I've been working on my late term Steam on a section of my Montana fictional thing. Is I mean, when they get bought in 1995, I think economies of scale simply outweigh everything else. Yeah, by 1995, I think your Steam is pretty done for. Um, but you can always try to justify that sort of thing. Uh, at the end of the day, it's a fictional. What does it matter? Um, okay. Let's actually make this about half and half. But yeah, the story with the let me just do this really quick. Let me go into fake model railroading, Control F, Emden. Um, the Emden Tombstone and Gulf, uh, which doesn't make it to Tombstone. I want to justify it, but when Big Class One and SD40 go burr, yeah, no, that's the hard part. Um, all right, let's get this all in here. Independence Round was an 8-mile railway formed by foamers to haul coal. Nice. You can't run a railroad on foam. We learned that on the Terminus podcast a long time ago. Rest in peace, Iowa Pacific Holdings. But you can try. Let's grab the little grass blind. And fill in that right there. Perfect. Let's grab this. I don't know why I made this area so drab and dismal. We're probably going to have to put in some more shrubs and trees and things like that, just to make it suck a little bit less. Mikado's numbered 1, 2, and 3. I need to come up with a number scheme for the Mansfield Branch Railroad. I did not really spend all that much time thinking about it. I just sort of threw it onto the map. 16 by 40. Yeah, okay. And that's why I was just sort of spitballing their set of locomotives. Okay. I kind of want to put in some trees over here. Oh, did we not put in the shrubs? We didn't put in the shrubs in this little patch. I need to get the shrub spline. Oh, I saw it. Shrub spline. Give me that. Okay. I need to get this in here. Yeah, the 2-foot gauge was sort of always in a bad way. No, it's not going to be all 113. And yes, Bryson, you must write lore. Always need lore. Yeah, I need... These shrubs are really nice because they keep you from being able to just see through the stand of trees, which isn't super unrealistic, but isn't super realistic for an unkempt patch of forest near civilization. If no one's getting there and doing trimming and controlled burns and stuff like that, it's just going to turn into a big mess of hedges. Okay, so that can go right there. Yeah, and if I look at the Emden... Yeah, I said I was going to start describing the largest town on the railroad, but there is no largest town on the railroad. Let's talk about the 2-foot. Let me turn on my camera view again. Screen view. Plenty of detours today. So this brown is the Emden Tombstone and Gulf. It does not go to Tombstone, and it barely goes to the Gulf. It has 4 ports, as I described here. It has 4 ports. One has no deep water access at all. Another is literally gated behind a rival railroad. A third is completely controlled by that railroad and is their only interchange. And the 4th is an unsheltered harbor unsuitable for large boats. So This one is unsheltered. This one is uh, the only junction. This one is the controlled one, and this one has no deep water access. So it is in a difficult spot because it really can't do anything at all. It didn't ever finish the connection to up here, which would have afforded another connection. It didn't ever finish this because, I mean, this was sort of like a frantic build along the side of the interstate. The interstate was there first, which is the problem. I mean, it wasn't an interstate highway at the time, but it was there first. Uh, so it has the worst grades on the system by a wide margin, and then this whole section is just an absolute pain in the neck to run. Um, so it is it's a railroad that is limping along that really almost doesn't have a reason for its own existence. Like, it can't justify its own existence. It has no way to do so. And hello, East. Oh yeah, the Connecticut Northwestern is something that I need to catch up on because I saw that coming into existence and I went, hmm. But then I saw Connecticut and I went, oh. I kid, of course, a little. Anyway, let's put some more shrubs down. Okay. I don't want to encroach too much on this right of way because this is actually a fairly heavily used right of way. This is the only connection to the like the mainline area. And honestly, once upon a time when I was devising this, I wasn't going to have this connect, if I remember right. Where do you start on deep lore? Personally, I just pick a spot and start going. Let's use a different kind of shrub spline then. I sort of just picked a spot and started writing for the lore for Olive and for the Valley line. And that was a fun one. And that one's not done, but that one is a fun one. There isn't much to the CNW as of now, but there's going to be a Y class. Well, that's interesting. I appreciate I found a smaller shrub spline. Yeah, I wasn't originally going to connect this. I was going to have this be a dead-end yard. And then I realized how much more sense it made to have this connection in place. Same thing with this, although this connection is... I actually might bury this. I might bury this. I might lower the track enough so that it's not visible. But at the very least, yeah. Yeah, this is not the normal position for the switch. The normal position is to the right, because this is how you get through, and that's how you go up the line there, and nothing's going to need to do that. Nothing is going to need to go from that yard up this line. The only thing that's coming down this direction is stuff that's going to the cement plant. Or concrete plant. I should put some cement trucks in here. Yeah, there's so much that I need to just sort of like scour maps and get more ideas, because I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants lately. Let's see, that's the asymmetric spline. I want the other one, not the shrub spline. This one, the JVC grass. The line can trace its roots back to 1839. That's very cool. That's a very old railroad. Some of the oldest railroads in the country are younger than that. He's flying by the seat. Okay, thanks. Thanks, East. He's penniless. He's flying by the seat of his pants. Wait, no, that line is not from Helpless. That line is from the following song, my favorite song, that I can't remember the name of. But, you know, the the other one. uh, no, his penance is flying by the seat of his pants. You do need to listen to Hamilton and again. Um, Satisfied. Satisfied is the name of the song. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, yeah, it is. It absolutely is. It's in Satisfied. Oh man, I haven't listened to Hamilton all the way through in a while. I think I may have accidentally gotten my dad into Hamilton. Like, I'm not sure if he's watched it, but I mentioned it to him, and I mentioned like the song work in it, which is the most impressive part, in my opinion, the fact that it's all song. And again, I've talked about in The Realist how spoiled I am by that being my first musical, because I expect them all to be that good, and they aren't. And even if the goodness doesn't come into it, it is it's one of these things where I want it to all be song. Like, I want to listen to the album and get the full picture. And Beetlejuice is not like that. And I did go to see Beetlejuice, which honestly, as far as stage performance, I did enjoy Beetlejuice more. Beetlejuice does more with effects and more with like what's available on stage. Hamilton is very much telling a story, and some people are dancing around. Like, and don't get me wrong, choreographed dance is not a bad thing. I don't look down on it. I used to go to Cirque du Soleil every year, and I kind of miss it. Uh, but boy, do they do some wacky stuff in Beetlejuice. Um, there's another musical. Oh yeah, I heard about Six. I I really I should give Six a shot. Like, I should check out Six. I was actually talking about it with Gloria not too long ago, and they wanted to check it out too. So I might have to give that one a listen. I know that there's that one song that's been like in TikToks. Uh, you bring the corsets, I bring the cinches. I was humming that for a long time after I after I found out about it. Um, Said his name 3 times. It's showtime. Um, Somewhere I have a picture of me as Beetlejuice for a couple Halloweens ago. We painted Lafayette. He was a sandworm. Um, Very cute. Gloria did my face makeup. Um, oh shoot, Bryson said Pat's name 3 times. Does that mean he's gonna show up in New England? Pat at the WWF? Eh? Um, I've got a Spike Mall with your name on it. I'm so bad at spiking, guys. I'm so bad. Uh, we went there to do track work, and like TJ started off better than me, and then apparently got really good when I was at the business meeting. Uh, I I cannot I can't finish it for the life of me. I can get a spike 2/3 of the way in, and then I just can't do any more than that. I don't know why. Uh, he was talking to me about technique, and I need to try it again. I need to go back. Obviously, I mean everyone needs to go back to Maine. Um, Even if you've never been to Maine, you need to go back to Maine. The sign at the sign on the highway says "Welcome home," and they mean it. It's what the people want. All right, I'm gonna go work in the Independence roundabout, Laura. You speaking somehow inspired me. I try. There is more detailed lore, but I don't want to just sit here and read off what I wrote before. If you are in the Discord and you go into the not model railroading channel, or sorry, not the not model, the fake model railroading channel, and you go and just Control F search up Emden, you'll get me posting the lore. It's up there. Too bad Dad and I are not going on a road trip to Philly. We're taking the train. I would say let's listen to Hamilton all the way down. Okay. I also, do I want another? Do I want another billboard? I want another billboard. I need more billboards. Oh, never mind. I have a lot of billboards. Crisco, Campbell's. Oh, I have a lot of Campbell's. I have a Pap. Oh, that's a case of Pabst Ribbon. Oh, what is that? Chevy. Where's Dean? Where's Dean when you need him? Um, See your local Chevrolet dealer. Maine is what I'm looking forward to most. Yeah, I mean, I would be. I look forward to Maine the most, and that even applies on days where I do not go to Maine. Um, there's Dean. Okay. The billboard is a little bit hidden in the bushes, but it'll do. What does it say? So just Chevrolet with time-proved power glide. Okay. Okay. So we need this area. What else do we need to do? I I've talked about doing. We need to do some intersections, huh? Are there any ones that we haven't done yet on this main drag? No. But this one we need a piece of sidewalk. Give me that. And drop this right there. Power Glide was a weird transmission. I figured you would have an opinion. I don't know what it is. Uh, but I'm advertising it. Okay. I can just hear Mona Lisa Vito going off about it in the back of my head. Um, it's been entertaining, but I must return to the grind of work and of CN&W lore. Or CNW, not C and NW. That's a different railroad. Pat, did you do that on purpose? Okay. We need variable pitch torque. Ooh, that sounds cool. Okay. I'm gonna put some other buildings here though. Let's look at my physical pick list. This is a neat building. That's a school. I want another warehousey building. What are you? That's another school. That's kind of a cool. This looks like a set of stores. This is a set of stores. This is not a school. I feel like I've been here in Newport. Um, what? No, why would I? Okay, let's grab this, but I really do want. What is this? That's some other kind of building. Okay, let's just put this here. No, because those are loading bays, so we need this to be facing this way. Huh. Come on, get in there. Newports. Uh, well, if that's a 61 Buick LeSabre, the billboard is a little bit too new, but, you know, who's counting? Oh, no, that's review, you're saying. Still, though. Okay. I'm not going to be able to line this up with the windows in a way that works, huh? Oh, you know what? If I slide it in a little bit further, like that, maybe it won't matter? Yeah, that works good. Okay. Um, I want to figure out this one because this right here is the last spot I have to put an industry, and people have been saying that I should put like a time saver or something like that, like a really like a really classic switching puzzle in here, right? But that doesn't work when it's not contained. I feel like. Also, this building is a problem. This one right here. Oh right, I wanted to assemble these into like a munitions plant. That's what was going to go here. I was going to put some kind of munitions plant here. And the thing is, this building looks way too nice to be alongside these other buildings. Monkey Banana's sister location. Yeah, this is where the animatronics really get quirky at night. Um, let's put this Oh, shoot, it doesn't totally cover it. So, should we be perpendicular to the railroad tracks, which is probably the right way to do it. It's perpendicular to the railroad tracks. Um, let's just do 330 to make it even. Okay, and that's even too. But we cannot slide this. Oh, oh, oh. I can see the shadow. Oh, it still sticks out. Damn. What if I wedge this in the side of it? I want this to be a big facility. I want this to take up a lot of real estate and drive a lot of the business development in the town. Oop. Nope. Nope. Oh, come on. For crying out loud. Okay, that's not going to work. And now it's gone. Okay, it's over there. I was going to use... I liked the look of this as a shot tower. That's what was sort of making, like, drawing me into the idea of using this as a munitions facility of some kind. Which a shot tower is not necessarily relevant in this era, but it's what makes me think of it. Can I slide this all the way through, or will it stick out the other side? Oh, it'll stick out the other side. Wait. Well, you know, if I can scoot it over like that, yeah. This is also reminding me of a place I used to go to do laser tag, which haven't done that in a hot minute. That'd be fun. Should do more laser tag. Okay. That's interesting. Especially how that sort of sticks out like that. It's like it's greebled. Let's scoot that all the way into there. And then actually I want to scoot this over like that. Okay, that lines up pretty well. Let's see this side. Ah, not quite. Okay. Can I scoot it slightly to the left? Also, is it crooked? Is that hurting us? Okay, that's fine. Need to make sure I'm not covering any windows. You know, that's the biggest problem. And then this, if I could shove it in just a little more. Good evening, comrade. Good evening, Orion. Okay. Okay, so we've got that building right there. Not quite parallel with the road, but that's fine. This building is almost nice enough to get paired with this. But I honestly, it's tough because I like the way these buildings look together. But if I pull it this way, the awning starts to stick out. And if I had, say, a couple doorways over here... Hold on. No. Not like that. What the hell is that? Door big. Okay. Door rail access. How about... Okay, that's too tall. But what if I... Ah, for sake. And I bet I'm not going to be able to grab it now. Son of a... Get out of there. Put the doors in first, and then put the thing back later. 60. That's weird. It's like half a degree off. No? If I set it to 60, will it be fine? It looks fine. And let me lower it by... Yeah, like that much. And we're actually going to jump into Surveyor 2 for this. I've been vibing in Minecraft building a 486 oil-fired. Front looks like a T1, but with the daylight livery. close as I can with Minecraft. That sounds like something you do in Create. Power Glide was a conventional 2-speed autobox, but the Saber had Dynaflow, which is the variable pitch torque converter. That's cool, though. And it's also a cool name. All right, slide that over to there. And then let's... It's still too high. This is upsetting. Okay. Slide it back the other way. We gotta lower these into the ground more. This is what Surveyor 2.0 is good for. I wish Bryson was here to see this. I'm glad that I learned how to use some of these features because they're very helpful. Also, this is crooked. This is crooked. We need to fix that. Surveyor Classic. Outside of that, anyone who lives in tornado-prone regions, be on the lookout for red skies. That's the first time I've heard BOLO used in a non-police context. Okay, please let me slide this in there like that, yes. Okay. That looks pretty cool. We still don't know, like, what we're doing in terms of platforms, right? Because we've got these tanks here. These tanks, I feel like, could be something to drop off at, right? But the issue is that getting a track 2 over there might be a little bit trickier than, you know, than I might anticipate. So here, yeah, okay. If we don't want to make it a really awkward looking sort of tight turn, we actually have to come in here much further back. So like here. And we really probably only want one turnout per industry, because otherwise you're really starting to make headaches for making sure things are line and locked for the main. You only want to have one point of failure if you can help it, and we can definitely help it. And we're gonna need to jump back into Surveyor 2 for this though, because I need to scoot that back, and I don't want to mess it up. Dust is being kicked up, rusty hue, vibrant dirty, dark red. After seeing the video of the tornado, I'm good on tornadoes for like my whole life. The video of the tornado hitting the BNSF train. I think it was BNSF, right? We talked about it on the podcast. Okay. So we get that in there. And like I said, I do want this to be like a big complex. I don't think we've used this building yet. Does this have loading doors? Those look like loading doors of some description. Let's do that over there. The one where they said it blew a car over? I think that one, yeah. I mean, there's only one video of a tornado from inside the cab of a BNSF train, as far as I'm aware. If there's multiple, I mean, if I had a nickel, right? Okay, so this side, okay, we need to spin this building 180 degrees. Because the loading doors are on the other side. I kind of was tempted to use this building, but not only is it a really awkward shape, which is not a bad thing, it is really poorly textured. It's not ideal. Every place needs like an office of some kind. We need to leave enough room for sort of a road on this side, I think, just like inside of property. You'd have 3 nickels because of the one from Wisconsin, the one from South Chicago, EJ&E engines, and this recent one. Yeah, is the one from Wisconsin like the super famous one? Okay. Let's put a track here. Part of me wants to... Yeah, I must have seen that one 100 times. Amazing video. Part of me wants to put like a typical... Why? The one time I don't want it to connect. Do it! The one time. Spline too short. Bruh. Okay, there. Okay. Honestly, I don't know how much this is going to need in the way of stuff delivery. I want this to be a pickup track, like a loading track, and then the other one to be an unloading track of some kind of chemical, maybe, because you've got these tanks here. But the other thing is, I might need, and you've got warehouse doors here too. Um, hmm, interesting. I don't really like the look of this building here. I know I talked about every place needs an administration building. Maybe I'll put that across the street or something. Or maybe I can fit it... No, because then it wouldn't be facing me. Well, yeah, if I line it up with that road. Yeah, that might not be a bad idea. Okay, still not quite lined up, but close. There we go. There. Sounds like your town is a tornado hotspot, Orion. Okay. Oh, I want something like this that you can raise the doors on, right? Because I don't want to have tracks that don't do anything. That just feels goofy to me. But I want a shed with a pair of industries inside of it. Or a pair of tracks inside of it, I should say, that I can get into. Because if I don't do that, then... Well, if I don't do that, then what am I doing? Can I slide this track over just a little bit? I'm trying to put my brain on and see what we can bring here. I don't know what would be the commodities, right? But I did want to make this place kind of a big deal. I need like a long, thin building. Let's see what we can get. Not this again. This is all one big thing, isn't it? Yup. Damn, I wish I was able to break that down into multiple pieces. Oh, I wonder if I can clip most of this into something. Hold on, I have an idea. Let me try something with this. Oh, it's too long. Just a little bit, but it's definitely too long. Look at that, though. That'd be kind of cool. If I set it to 240, it's a great number, by the way. And I just put it there. If this didn't stick out, like, if I were to conceal it like that. Oh, huh, interesting. This is also, I think it is perfectly aligned, too. If I put that there, then, no, not quite. I was hoping that we could just see the loading bays, right? Although, honestly, that doesn't look half bad. I wish... Ooh. I wish I could slide that over just a little bit. Because now I want to make this work. The only problem is this ramp, which I don't think I can slide it over enough to make the ramp work because the tracks would have to be over here instead of right where they are. It's just not... that's upsetting. It's not workable, but it's so close to being workable. What if I scooted everything over? I have room to do that. Hold on, let's jump into Surveyor 2 and see what happens. I really like the way this looks right now. First things first, I want to get this so that it isn't eating any of the doors. Okay. Good place to start. It's eating the windows a little bit. Let's... that's probably as good as it's going to get. Especially because this... What if I can get like a corner of a building to take care of that? Like this one. To hide that one door. I mean, it looks like crap, but, you know, definitely not the worst I've seen. Don't you see what I mean? That looks pretty damn good, I'm not going to lie. Okay, so if we can slide the entire building over by, what, 10 feet? Oh, wait, I can... Hold on. Can I select everything like this? Okay. Let's see about fine moving. I can probably scoot the tracks over a little bit, too. I don't want to have to. But that's probably close enough. Let's just... Oh, shoot. I didn't realize there was a spline point there. Okay, we'll have to put a thing on that. But I think we have it. Okay, problem is that we don't have enough room to get this out. Okay, right in there. And now the curve looks like hell, but we'll have to fix that. I'm almost, like, I'm bummed that this is the last factory I'm going to get to make for a while. Okay, that's why it looks like hell, because the spline point's all out of whack. There. What if I remove this spline point? Merge splines. And then I just push that up to there. Yeah, that'll do. Getting a truck to these loading bays sounds like murder, but honestly, or looks like murder, but honestly, I've designed worse. I've had to do design of a parking lot in a facility that actually isn't too dissimilar to this. Well, in function it might be a little dissimilar because it's not making ammunition, but like the awkward getting the trucks, like that was enough of a pain in the neck. Okay, I want a spline point right here. And this still needs to be straightened. And then I want to raise this up just a little bit so that I can stand on mountains. Okay. Why is this like this? Can I, smooth ground under selected? Okay. That didn't exactly do what I expected it to do. I'm not sure what's going on here. Although I don't know why I expected it to do anything different than it did. Okay. And once more with feeling. Alright, so, what have we got? We've got a big old munitions plant. Oh, you know what we need? We need one of those walkways. Let's go grab that. Nope. Nope. Oh. 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 Come on. FMA covered factory bridge. And there's a pipeline version too. But we have the pipeline. And I already know where this is going to come out of. Because we have that helpful missing window right there. Oh, it's too high. Wait. Wait. Perfect-ish. Now let's lower it. Let's keep it flat. Yes, kaboom factory. Yes, Rico, kaboom. This is the Explodey Boys facility. I want a platform over here. So, but not one with no, not like that either. I need something very straightforward. I'm not sure if tarmac is the right thing for it, but it to be not a passenger platform, but still heavy duty. This might do. Oh, thank you, Parallax. So let's put this here. In other words, G&W has their own camo locomotive. That's interesting. So like a VETS unit? And it's the question of, like, I definitely don't trust Genesee and Wyoming to do camo right on a unit because, as stated previously, it's not easy to do it right and make it look anything better than really bad. Except for just making the whole locomotive camo, which you can't do because then it hits people. Okay, so that track might be a bit of a late addition. Let's jump back into Surveyor Classic. Obtain one track wood. Just gonna slide this up along the edge here. And then, I mean, so people wanted a time saver. This is probably the closest you're gonna get. It's not your 1, 2, 3 tracks that can fit 1, 2, and 3 cars respectively, right? But it's relatively close. Why didn't I just make that the same spline point? Hold on, let me delete the spline point. It's a brand new one. Oop, okay, straighten that out. Oh, shoot. But at least you have 3 tracks. It's not compact at all, which I feel like would actually be kind of a headache, but it is what it is. I should probably though slide these junctions a little closer together because that switch is a little big. Yeah, that's better. That's genuinely better. Is it hovering now? I think it's hovering. Can I lower it a little bit? Whoa, easy does it. Okay. We have a very tight quarters, yeah. We have a very tight quarters liquid unload. We have some sort of, whether it's a drop off or a pickup, I'm not sure. Um, and then some sort of either drop off or pickup over here. I'm just not sure. But I do like the way this facility looks, at least. And we can delete a lot of our physical pick lists now that we have this all squared away. I'm curious if there's anything else we can throw in here that would make sense as either a warehouse or an office, or that's still part of this, isn't it? Yep. But for now, I think it's good. It's a much simpler arrangement than this. Than that whole area. So this is going to be, relatively speaking, a much easier time switching. Part of me wants to throw in, sort of the railroader like Parsons Tannery little loop with a small industry. I know that's part of a larger industry, which is why I feel like it might make sense here. But that's what I'm thinking. You know what I might do actually? For the sake of headaches in switching, especially if this place is asking for more cars than you can give it at a time, I'm going to add a storage siding here, and then here, and you're not going to be able to fit too many cars on this. Oh, I should probably put on the outside instead of the inside. Yeah, I should put on the outside. Just makes more sense. And I'm going to end it like halfway through here, which is going to be awkward, but ooh, what I can do is actually make that invisible track. Why have I never thought about doing that before? So, if I quit AGR Alabama and Gulf Coast 4423. I'm surprised I haven't seen a photo of it yet, but I suppose I will in time. Okay, there, and dabba dabba. Okay, give me instead 50. What's the possibility of adding deactivated signals to this branch? Oh, hey, Flying Yankee, I was just thinking of you. I don't think we're gonna, I don't think there would have been signals here at all, like at any point. Because this would have been all, you know what, I can put in a spline point in that. Well, whatever, it's fine. This would have been all, this isn't through line. Nothing's coming through here. This is you have one train, you get the track warrant for it, and you go and you switch the industries. You might have to do that more than once a day, but up until it got sawed in half, and even afterward, you're really not going to have more than one train on this at a time. I mean, this industry, these 1, 2, 3 industries, these 4 industries, right? They're not going to need more than one train of attention. Same thing with this 1, 2, with 2 things, 3 industries on this side. And like, yeah, switching them all out, switching all 7 of them, uh, when this branch was whole before they put this in here, that would have been kind of a bear. But that's part of the reason why you have one, this siding for storage over here, two, a pretty good sized runaround here, and then another runaround down here with a stub end track. So part of me, I mean, did I? I didn't, did I? I didn't leave it there. I was tempted to leave an invisible track connecting here so you could see what it was like to switch the whole branch at once back in the day. You'd be driving through the ground, but you know it's demonstrative. Um, and then this is going to keep going, right? This is not the end of the road for this. This is just as far as I've built it right now, because this is the main line of the Mansfield Branch Railroad. Maybe old crossbucks at the old railroad crossing, if not removed. Yeah, honestly, throwing down some crossbucks here would make a lot of sense. Or, you know, at least a post that used to have a crossbuck on it. And then there are probably going to be sort of tracks across the parking lot. Well, I did put this here, which I've got to swap this, huh? Hold on. This has got to be... Give me the street run tracks. I'm feeling great tonight. I just went to see some friends in a play. Aw, might have cried a little. Just recently finished my HO 470 model. I've been seeing the progress on it. I know I've been super busy. I've been out of everything, but I try to check in on the channels every day. Place spline with selected asset. Oh, and I'm gonna want to lower this so that it's not over the sidewalk. Yeah, there we go. Let's push it in at both ends. There we go. Makes me wonder if there are some old signals that have been dumped under the siding and forgotten. I mean, maybe just a pile of junk, right? I would imagine the Mansfield Branch Railroad is not as heavily signaled as it once was, because once upon a time it was a main line for the Gilson Eastern. But stuff like this, single track bridges, they kept it from being useful, and the whole time they were working on the tunnel in Raven Bridge anyway. So I can't wait to see your 470 model run, Flying Yankee. We do need to figure out what we're doing over here with these, like, major food-producing industries, and also the ball field and everything like that. Not sure what's going on, but Christy just yelled at the cat the same way you yelled Dinkelberg. That's great. Gloria will sometimes call me a dink, and I'm like, double income, no kids? Is that what you mean? We need to come back here and do this, though. And in fact, I feel like I should just grab a set of buildings and just throw them down. So who's gonna know it's the same bunch? Now, I've gotta take the first 5, I've gotta line them up, gotta do the random stuff with them to fill in the rest of this, and then we'll do the garages like we did before. It was a kind of zen thing, but man, do we gotta do like all these blocks the exact same way. It's gonna take forever. It's gonna be a pain in the neck. I'm also looking for a high point to put the radio station, but there is no high point. This area is all flat. Like, this river's the biggest difference there is, and before the advent of people, it changed course so many times, there was never really a thoroughly carved channel. Gotta tidy up the white walls. Beautiful. Okay. Just don't know what to do next. There's so much of this town to do. I'm getting thoroughly whelmed. Okay. Oh wait, didn't I take a copy of these? Expires in 5 days. Oh no, that one expired. Damn. Well, let me just grab these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I take them across the street. and then I spin them 180 degrees, which a little bit difficult because that's one thing that Surveyor 2.0 does not do, is the telling you the degrees. I'm sure there are ways to use the fine adjustment tools to get exactly what I want, but I don't know how to do it yet. But like this whole area is going to be row houses. I'm going to leave this and this just as examples of other stuff that we have. In fact, I might even take this one and put it somewhere over here, just because, right? But I'm not, I'm just not super happy about this. But we only have the 5, and to not do this would take so much time. Like, so much more time. Like, way more time. There are 2 signal posts for what I assume are old New York Central signals, a concrete post and a steel post. The thing is, I would imagine that any signals we have along here are going to be semaphores. And I would imagine some of them still work. Because it's not a, it's a reasonably well-traveled railroad, and when you got it, flaunt it, right? They had the signals, so why decommission them if they still work? But alright, let's get an RNG out. Random number generator. Max 1 through 6. 4. Which, if I remember right, is this one. I'm just going to slide it out. When I'm doing this, I can't really see the chat, so I should just be doing more of these at once. And I just clicked it and I got 4 again, so alas, I'll just put that there. And then I got 3, which is this one. And they seem like, you know what, they're reasonably well aligned. I'm getting a little bit of like parallax or whatever, optical illusion, where it doesn't look like they're lined up properly. This is going to be one of those things where I'm going to have to sit down every time and figure out, or like force myself to do it, right? Okay, I got another 3. So this will go on the other side. Let's make a space. Let's make a space first. I got another 3. I'm not sure if it's actually even rolling the number, but I can't tell because it's like a almost 20% chance that we roll the same number, and how would I know? Okay, no, it is. It's just we've gotten very lucky, or unlucky. Okay. We're gonna be here a while doing this. This is exciting. 4. No 1s or 2s, huh? And the thing is, I can't even see the chat when I'm doing this. That's not good. I should get an RNG on my phone. I'll get one on my phone and we'll do it that way. Because then I'll be able to just look at that. I know I have a weighted random number generator that I use for making the trading card packs. But I'll just go on Google and I'll get a regular one. So, to Google. Actually, I should do one that produces like 10 at a time. Let's see. Come on. Come on, phone. Random. I just woke it up, so now it's upset. Random number generator. Oh, wow. What do you know? I just searched that. That's not what I wanted. I'm going to be fighting with my phone for a second here because it's old and slow. And I refuse to get a new one because this one works fine. It's just kind of old and slow. But yeah, we've got a lot of area to fill in with houses and with row houses and garages. That's the way it's going to be. I hope everyone enjoyed the previous section of the video because the fun part is over. Go home. Nothing to see here. I'm joking, of course. I hope everyone sticks around. We could scenic detail this if we wanted to, but we honestly have to do more of these. Otherwise, we're going to be spending like several straight weeks doing these. Random number generator. Lower limit 1. 1. Upper limit. Oh wait, no. You know what? We'll do 0 through 5. Um, 0 through 5. Generate. Let's say 10. Let's do 10 at a time. 10 numbers. Allow duplication. Yes. Sort the results. No. Integer. Generate. I refuse to upgrade my phone until I can no longer play Azure Lane, which is going to be a while. That's kind of funny. I was so elated when I got a new phone because it allowed me to play Candy Crush, and I have not done that in a while. All right, so it's 22333055504. That's interesting. There's no ones. Uh, Whatever. 2. Please don't turn off the screen on me. I should set it to not turn off. 2. 2. And what did I say? 0? No, it's 333. Okay. 3. And then we talked about, last time I was doing this, we talked about the way that water runs off roofs. And now I understand why row houses are typically flat roofed. Okay, 333. We are eating more into the sidewalk than we were before. The sidewalk is slightly chaguade compared to our buildings, which, if I do this, I might be able to just angle them away very slightly. But I'm talking very slightly, and this is... No, I hit control. Very, very slightly. Wrong way. Okay, perfect. 333. Okay. And then 0, and then what? 5, did I say? Man, this loves repeating numbers. Yeah, 05504. And I think we'll just do 554 because I really don't want to have that many gaps in short succession, especially with the number. Well, no, you know what? We'll do it. 5. It's what RNGesus decided that we're gonna do. We're going to do 554. 5504. There we go. Anybody else hungry? I'm starting to lose it. Alright. And this is a 4. Pretty sure. We're going to have to keep apprised of that as we go down so that we don't end up carrying the error down. My 470 has sound too. They could be better as per usual with BLI, but I do like both of our whistles, which sound fairly accurate to the real 470 whistle. Can't wait to play around with those. Have you visited 470? It's a long drive, but I don't not recommend if you can get up there. Generate another 10 numbers, please. 1 0 1 0 2. Oh my God, there's so many zeros. This is number 1. Visiting 470 is very cool. I got to go up there. I made them trading cards. They still have at least a couple, as far as I know, because there weren't that many people that were interested in the raffle. So if you want to augment your collection with something really unique, you can only get those up there at the Down East Scenic. However many they have. I've got one, and I thought I lost it too. I thought I had lost my one copy of the 470 card that I had kept. But no, I still had it. It was just buried in a different box. Okay. There. I'm curious to know what you got in your cards, Yankee. Because I hope for your own sake you got one of those, one of the P&M perks, and I hope for my sake you got 2, because I'll trade with you. 322143. Okay, so we can do a 3 and a 2 together, which is these 2. 322143. Let's bring them all over at once. Come on. It's after another space, too. That 1 is just on its own. And I think I'm going to scoot them back. Oh yeah, I haven't said anything about it. This unfortunately I haven't visited yet, but I donated here and there a 470 trading card. You say maybe you should head up there sometime in the future. Yeah, I don't know how many they have left. I can shoot an email to Hannah, who's like the public facing person. I want to get a hold of BLI's T1, but I plan on getting an analog. I don't need DCC with Kato Unitrack, and I prefer my engines don't have sound. Well, that's an interesting take. Um, I'm not sure if the BLI decoders are DC and DCC. I know some decoders are, so you might be in luck there. I love a good T1. Um, uh, yeah, it's quite a trek up to the Downey Scenic. I did it up and back in one day for the event where they did have the trading cards. It was not what I would call fun. It was, in fact, very much a slog, and my plan was not to do the whole thing in one day. It's about a 5.5 hour drive. My plan was not to do the whole thing in one day, but it turned into that because the people I was going to stay with up there got COVID. And so I went, well, I don't want to do that. Like, I appreciate the offer of I appreciate the hospitality, but I think I'm just going to go drive home. Thankfully, the event ended at like 3:30 in the afternoon, so there was plenty of time for me to still get home and it not be super dark. I got home at 9-ish, 8:30, probably 9-ish. Maybe a little bit later than that. I can't remember. But it was a lot of driving in a day that I did not plan to do that much driving. Um, and I was by myself too, which made it a little bit more difficult. I mean, when Gloria is with me on my road trips, she's a real good moderator because, well, we stop a lot. And it keeps me from going totally road crazy. But it was just me and my podcasts and thinking about the experience, which it was a good experience, don't get me wrong, and I took the train ride and I got to poke around the engine and talk to people, and honestly, I got to dig through the archives, which was way too much fun. Um, Very cool people up there. Hi, Thankman. How long has he? He's been there the whole time. Have you guys been able to? No, you can't. Yeah, you can see him. Thankman. Hey, he's busy. Bankman, are you hungry? That's what gets his attention. Because he's fat. I'll scoot my camera over just a little bit so that he's still in frame. Hi, Bankman. And now I can slouch more. That's my cars. I got 1522, a cursed but cool CP locomotive, Southern 442, IC 482. Ooh, you got one of the IC engines? Nice. B&O, the 040 and 1455. No Burke, but oh well. Ah. The cursed but cool CP locomotive. I was going to trade for one of those. The IC 482 is rarer than the other Class 1 cards in that batch because the person who gave us the photo asked for one. So I printed 20 of them, and he got one of them. So it narrows it down. I don't remember which one he got. It's going to be a while because I'm not exactly a fan of its price, even in N scale. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, BLI stuff is pricey. You got to look for good deals. 43042. Okay, so we did the 4-3. Now we have a space. Then we need 4 and 2. Yeah, the cursed CP thing. What a locomotive that is. It is. I don't know. I was going to trade for it a while ago, and then I realized that stats weren't really all there. It's got some advantages in terms of the games, but it is just weird. And I mean, I believe it's mentioned in the card. It gets converted. It got converted to a 210, which really threw me for a loop because I was doing a lot of digging and turning up with decapod pictures, and it's like, wait a minute, this is not the locomotive I'm looking for, but it was. After all that, it was. Oh shoot. We will be getting our next batch of cards out. I want it to be on the website by the end of the month, and I don't know if that's even possible, but I'm gonna try to make that happen. Uh, there are some things that I'm not super happy about. Our photo editor is plinking away at the photos, which is nice. Um, and other than that, I want, yeah, I'm. We need to do final review. 3545, and then I assume maybe 20 days. So I honestly I should probably get on the final review like tonight after this or tomorrow. 13545. That's the one that we need a 3, which is, if we go back to here, that's the one with the awning on the right. We have a million threes. Here's one. Oh wait, this was supposed to be well, whatever, it doesn't matter. Maybe we slide in another one. We slide in a 3 instead of a 2. Let's do that. When I accidentally found out that Control duplicated buildings, boy, did my life change. Okay. I'm mostly into the older BLI stuff. I found them to be good quality for the price you can get them for. Anything Paragon 3. Paragon 3, really? I might try and grab one of their 282s for more main central stuff. Honestly, you're the first person I've heard say any sort of praise about Paragon 3. As far as I understood, Paragon 2 was all that, and the stuff that I have is Paragon 2. And then 3 and 4 weren't particularly good, but what do I know? I just work here. I'm not big in the model scene overall, to be honest. My opinions are not very strong. It's just, it's interesting to hear somebody say that. So I'm not saying that your opinion is wrong by any stretch. I'm just curious. Okay, this one. Paragon 3 and under. Mez, 3 is med, 2 is gold. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Do you know of any 264Ts in the US? Not a fan of the ones in the UK, and the German ones are hard to model in Stormworks. Yes, actually. I believe the Boston and Maine had no, not the Boston and Maine, sorry. The Boston and Albany had 264Ts. Also, hello, Brian. Which were the precursors to the double enders, which were the 466s. Also, very unique, interesting locomotives. New York Central and the B&M, yeah, B&A. I think also maybe one of the commuter railroads down around Philly, like maybe the Jersey Central had something like that, or yeah, yeah, the Boston railroads. Generating another 10 numbers. 3 zeros, 3 threes, and 2 zeros. Hello, my love. Okay, this is already awful. I'm putting more houses in a row. Just out of curiosity, what steamers do you have? Well, the B&M Mogul at the club, that's mine. The 377, the one that lives there, the CNO Dude. That was my ex's, and it just lives there now. I have a PRR T1, so the good kind of T1. I have a B&A USRA Pacific. And I've got a Canadian National Mikado that might get kit bashed into 3254. I might ask Jader to do that. Jay Pullman currently in the Discord. He does custom stuff. He did up Gloria's locomotive. 3-1. Yeah, okay, that sounds like a Jersey Central thing, or Central Avenue, New Jersey. What'd you say, baby? I'm also glad the dress came in because I... Never mind. Because you were going to sob if it did not. Yeah. And I don't know what I would... I don't know what I would have done in that situation. Um... But yeah, I'm not a big collector at the end of the day. I'm not a big modeler. I don't have my own layout. I frankly don't aspire to have my own layout. I go to the PN as sort of, that's my I get to play Chooch, you know? And I go to the WWF and I get to play Chooch up there. Uh yes, slightly larger Chooch. It sucks not having any clubs nearby that do N scale HO, all HO for 1.5 hours in all directions. Yeah, there are a lot of HO. Like HO is kind of the club standard, right? Has been for a long time. Um, Gloria was going to sob in your Volvo household. Disgraceful. Thank you, Brian. Uh, you do. We should take it out of the garage one of these days, so I can mow the lawn. My next project might be a B&M P3. Ooh, the younger or the older brothers, as it were, uh, of the venerable P4s. Oh, I guess I have a P4 as well. I think what is a brass P4 model. It's the first. It's 3710. That Milky gave me. It doesn't run. It just sits up on a shelf in my house. What's up, baby? Oh, the cake. Yeah. What time do you get out tomorrow? Again? Oh.
Babe, I'm working all morning shifts next week. It's like all working next week. But the thing
Flurry's
is,
working all morning shifts. Gross. Say
is,
boo with me.
but I
Boo.
didn't chapter 20 in the book.
Oh, that's good. Actually, no, that's good. Work more morning shifts so that you can read, so that I can read your book. Because I'm almost through my book and I don't know what to do next. Um. Let's scoot that back. Brian says, I forgot to mention this in the Discord. I tried putting my recent purchases under power. What does that mean? Recent purchases under power. Oh. Wait, I get it. Like you tried using them. Like purchased under power. I'm like, wow, what are you getting in the stock market or something? What is this? Uh, Brian's doing stunks. No. 551151. Metroliner wants to work but is struggling. Motor burnt out like my Duchess. Bummer. Um, TJ closed it so that they didn't have to hear me. But I think are they done watching TV?
Yeah, but I'll open this one.
Are the sandwiches done?
Yeah, it's just
Oh hell yeah! I'm so hungry. I can't wait to eat. I will found my own. Yes, make your own club with blackjack and hookers. See, I'm just slowly taking over mine. I'm gonna have the bylaws changed so that I can remain president indefinitely, and then we're gonna kick out all the old heads, and it's just gonna be like me and Flying Yankee and Michael and you and TJ, and we'll go from there. We're gonna backdate it. It's gonna be an all Steam club. It's gonna be called the Providence and Northern, and then we won't have enough members to make rent, and we're gonna go bankrupt. But at some point I will have Pacifics from all three major roads in New England. Ooh, wow, throwing shade at the B&A. The B&A is not a major road today. At some point I'll have Pacifics from all three major New England railroads, Maine Central, B&M, and a brass New Haven Pacific. I mean, get wrecked, New York Central. Get what you can deserve. I know you didn't do it on purpose, Yankee, but high five. Okay, so this has got to go over here. And I'll put something else on the corner here. Maybe like a church, actually. We don't have any churches in this town yet. There should be several. Let's do Scenery. Filter list, please. I wish B&A engines survived. Yeah, because they are cooler than their New York Central counterparts. Like, genuinely. Wait, what? What happened? Oh, I just crashed the game. That's a first. Haven't done that in a long time. Okay, Surveyor 2 is not perfect. Hopefully we didn't lose anything. It might ask me if I want to use the changes. Oh, no. Edit session. Use changes. Please, please tell me we didn't lose a ton of stuff. Please, oh please, oh please. And I'm going to immediately save it. That's crazy! We just searched something up in Surveyor 2 and it crashed the game. Rules of Mind is going to be centered around scenes, not massive ops, not massive industries. I loathe operations-based layout. They give me a massive headache. It's always nice to be able to run a train around. But ops are sort of lifeblood of a lot of stuff. Script failure? What the hell's broken? Why am I over here? Okay, well this area we did. Let's see. How many buildings are over here? Okay, most of our work is saved. I'm gonna save as. Point 8. Save new route in session. Maybe that's a sign I should wrap up and go have something to eat. Let's at least get a church placed in here. The B&A is cooler than the New York Central. It's the cool part of the New York Central. There's a reason they were able to maintain their own corporate image in the way that they were, and it's because you cannot get Bostonians on a train that says New York on the side of it, basically. It comes down to purely intercity rivalry / spite. I'm 100% convinced of that. I believe it's actually the truth, but I'm also very convinced of it. Okay. Select route, please. Let's go into here. Let's go into here. Edit session. Hudson doesn't work at all, maybe because the motor is largely disconnected. That's not good. You want the motor to be connected. I love how buttery smooth Gloria's Baby Trainmaster runs. It's so nice. It runs smoother than anything I've ever owned. Not to say that I've owned a lot, because I haven't, but oh, we did lose a chunk of buildings here, but excuse me. What are you gonna do? Just don't want to operate centrally. I want the club to be dynamic in terms of industries by oversimplifying them. Okay. Trainz is a great way to mess with that. Whoops, something just fell. Show search filter. Let's do church. I want to find a more downtown looking church. Okay. The stadium in Christchurch. That's what we want. I go here to worship. Victorian Country Church, Village Church, White. Whoa, that's a castle. New England Church. I mean, yeah. Some of these are interesting. Fraser Church. I'm going to preach at the altar of Doc Fraser. Let's do this here. This is such a small, like... They said, yeah, you can really put that church right up on the main road. Honestly, the church might have predated the road. And I'll put this in behind it because it's a small building. Doesn't fill the space very well. So let's cant it this way a little bit. For some reason. For an undisclosed reason, it's going to look like that. Don't get on me about this being different denominations. Let's remember that the BNA wasn't the only New York Central suburb to keep its identity. I don't. But that's okay. Okay. I mean, there were a bunch of railroads that the New York Central had sort of a controlling interest in, but the BNA was really just another arm of the railroad. The PNLE is a good one. Yeah, they were very independent. Okay, I think we're going to just about wrap up here. Make sure the tower doesn't have it. Well, hold on. Now that you say that, Orion, I have a friend who's working on a brass model of Valley Railroad 97. That's cool. Engine G. It's Engine G. The Parable of Engine G. How's that, Orion? Subtle, but there. Alright. I'm going to wrap this up because I'm hungry and we already had crashed the game once and I'm about to lose my mind. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'll see you next week. This is the Admiral, signing off. Well, thank